Hi, folks. This is Mountain Man coming to you from parts unknown. I hope everyone's doing well tonight. I got some video clips to play for you. A lot of things happening, and we got Pennsylvania. I got on my thumbnail. Donald Trump sitting there. We're watching you. He's got a garbage man outfit on. And if you vote illegally, you're going to the big house. Got a map of Pennsylvania with his silhouette on there. So we know there's been shenanigans going on. As soon as I get some people in chats can let me know how my transmission's going, I'm going to play a little video, bring back some memories of Halloween, trick or treat. You know, I've talked about, they say people are cultured. They got manners and things of that nature. Let's take a look at these kids here doing a traditional trick or treat. Look at they put on their outfits. They spend a lot of time to have their costumes. They're going around to get to trick or treat, trick or treat.
Aww, that was really nice, Jackson. That's so nice. For next kid. There you go. Danielle's like, no, I want that one.
Did you see the little princess there with her little orange dress on? And the boy was so nice. He saw there wasn't any candy. He put candy in there, and they go on to the next house with big smiles on their face because they were raised, okay, with culture. We want to protect our culture, right? But what kind of Halloween are you going to have? What kind of cultures are you going to deal with? Let's see what happens here. Instead of trick or treat, this is no speaky treat, no speaky treat. Yeah, I got some 18-year-old there, doesn't even have a costume on. None of them have costumes on. All they do is clean anything out with no thought for anybody else. So, yeah, I'd say it's a different culture. I think it's a different way of being brought up. And, hey, things are changing in this country. Things are changing. I've got a thing up here that I put on True Social. People seem to like. Couple of memes from the past. Liberals watching you have a happy life. I've talked about that before. You know, they're just miserable and they can't stand anybody else being happy. And this poor old fella here stopped legalized plunder. I bought and paid for my house by the age of 25 every 3 years. Every 3 years, what does he do? He pays property taxes equivalent to the original cost of my house. It takes 50% of my Social Security check to pay my property tax. Does anybody care about that poor old fella? What was the point of working hard? So the dollar can be devalued, so no speaky treats can come clean you out and wander off, never spend a minute here in this country, except to come, as Mr. T said, at the Alamo. They're coming for the gravy. They're coming for the gravy. How you doing, sissy? Nice to see you. Who's that? Sherry. Nice to see you, Wanda, Kathy. Oh, I got 5x5s. Oh, I hope everything played smooth. Gloria, K&S Cleanup. Devin, nice to see you. Debbie's here. Wayne, he gave me a thumbs up. I hope everybody's giving me thumbs up when he comes in. Helps the video get around. Hi, Rebecca. Nice to see you all. television shows. Gary, haha, thanks for helping the channel out, Gary. I appreciate it. And Angela for helping out with the channel. And Mike and Bev for helping out with the channel earlier in the week. And Lone Wolf, hilarious, too. I appreciate it. Hi, Ann. Pappy Two Bears. Nice to see you. So anyway, what have I got on my screen here? I have got... I got some videos. I went ahead and went a blast from the past. If you want to get screenshots of these two memes and put them on, I just had me a big bowl of ice cream. Sorry about that. Put them on Meta because, hey, that's the fact of the matter. There you are, an old man holding up a sign. Nobody cares about him. We just don't want to separate families at the border. Libs of TikTok put this up. Here's Trump sitting in a chair. You know who else sat in a chair? Literally shaking and screaming and crying. Crazy liberals. But now we're garbage. That's going around like crazy. Going around like crazy. Here, who's these two? Who's these two creepos? This is the problem in Pennsylvania right here. You guys know who these two creepos are? A Google account. Well, did you listen to Mr. T today? Flannel Cheese, how you doing? I'm going to play a video at the end that's going to tell it like it is. Yeah, Soriosio. Use zeros when you spell his name. Haha. Television shows zeros. Hi, Tuco. And who else is it? Gary said, anytime. Thank you, buddy. Shapiro. Tuco got it. Soros' son and Josh Shapiro. That is the problem. That's the problem in Pennsylvania right now. So just in case you want to put this in your, without my stuff all over it. Here we go. Pennsylvania is going to go for Trump. But, what are they up to? What are they up to? I think our teams have got a handle on it. I saw this meme I thought was interesting right here. After Biden made his little comment, his little garbage comment, there's Trump putting a medal on him. Who's working for who? Who is shot? Joe is shot? And it made me think of something. Remember I showed you how El Chapo's son turned over a top member of a cartel and he walked free? El Chapo's still in the joint. El Chapo putting out orders to do what? To make sure his son at least has a life. Doesn't that sound familiar, like Joe Hunter, cooperating so at least your son has a life? Yeah, that sounds familiar to me. And I was thinking about that federal multi-agency raid on the prison system there, where P. Diddy's at, where El Chapo is at, and where this new guy is going. And I said, the guards do those things all the time. How come they brought in 3 different federal agencies out of the blue with a huge show of force to go in there and shake that place down? I'll tell you why. Because they wanted to shake down the guards too, because they're crooked as hell. Just ask Jeffrey Epstein. All right, that's right, you can't. So anyway, we put 2 and 2 together as things go on, as time goes on. Oh, yeah. That's right, Tuco. He said it was the best time of his life taking people's property. I always say, watch Dr. Zhivago. Pay attention to the nuances, not so much as the drama. But look here. Report. Millions of garbage bags seen lining up outside polling stations. That's from the Babylon Bee. People are motivated. It doesn't matter what they say. Oh, now they're saying it was an apostrophe. You missed the apostrophe. Hey, that garbage comment got all the way around the world. All the way around the world. And why did it do that? Why did it get so much traction before they could spin their mistakes? Because Elon Musk bought Twitter. Hi, Mark. How you doing? Elon Musk bought Twitter. Yeah, Hunter's laying low. That's where he is. Here's something people didn't report. Police officer, this is Citizens Free Press, assaulted by two Democrats who attended Kamala's D.C. event last night. Nobody talks about that. If it happened with the MAGA crowd, they'd be going crazy. I dug up some old clips. I'll play them and some new clips too. Did you see Trump put up how many times Kamala mentioned his name? I meant to open up my broadcast with this one right here because this never gets old. And Kamala just redid the same thing.
Hello and welcome to Inside Politics. Let's start with Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Now, of course, Donald Trump. Trump. Donald Trump. Trump appointed Donald Trump.
Well, that's interesting because Trump.
President Trump. Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Trump has been president.
President Trump.
Kaylin, where are we right now in this sentencing proceeding?
Donald Trump.
Trump. We have a Donald Trump.
Donald Trump when it comes to Donald Trump.
Trump. And Donald Trump. Missing from that is Donald Trump.
You know, Trump focus on Donald Trump. Trumpism. Trump. A lot of Trumps.
Fascinating. Well, Kamala did the same thing at her rallies. And you know what? It's going to be a kick being a kid going to school and learning about American history. It's going to be so funny looking at some of this stuff. You know, but as long as they realize how dangerous a situation we're in today, Trump made no bones about it. But here's the one. I don't know if I get in trouble for this or not. It might be copyrighted, or they might say it's a illegal AI. I don't know.
You know, there's been zero evidence. You can ask me, how can I mean Obama be the hidden puppet master for this administration? But there's no evidence. There's no evidence. There's no evidence that Obama is Joe's puppet master. There's none. Absolutely none.
That'll be in your classroom, your kids, grandkids, great-grandkids' classrooms of who is the puppet master, one of the puppet masters. So anyway, this thing doesn't want to do what I tell it to sometimes. Hi, Mr. Cheddar Pepper. Yeah, Trump drove a trash truck. That's funny. I tell you what, these people are really something. You got to have a good attitude. Trump. Oh, they just can't get off of it. Let me see. What else have I got? I got another composition of stuff right here. Now, kids, this is day 3 of American history. In the year what would it be? 2016 through 2020, whatever. Here we go.
My watch started to buzz, and I got so excited I started leaking a little bit. But wait.
Look at them, they're everywhere. sense, I don't know why we're surprised by Trump. How many times does he have to prove we can't be trusted?
Has Donald Trump called you for advice or talked to you at all? And first of all, you've given him some pretty good advice so far, if you have.
Yeah.
But has he called and talked to you? I would call him.
No, he hasn't.
No.
No, he hasn't yet. He ain't gonna either. Did you hear Trump? He said, when he was talking about Michelle, he said, oh, she said just terrible things about me. He said, I've always been nice to her. So I guess it's my turn to be mean now. And then he said a few more things. He said, I'm really looking forward to this. Didn't he say that? I'm looking forward to it. To what? I think he's looking forward to seeing Michelle in a cell where you only get to shave like once every 3 or 4 days. And we'll get to see who the real Michelle is, right? Here's one I found, which I thought was very brief, but pretty neat. Whoa, where'd she go? There she is. Wait a second. Let me get this thing working.
I just spent $500 on gas and groceries. I don't care if he's rude.
That's what it boils down to. $500 on gas and groceries. I don't care if he's rude. Hey, did you all see this today? Did you all see this? See what's on the screen there, don't you? ABC News, did they really... %100% of the votes in, and at the very beginning, they had, wait a second, there you go, Harris up by 5 points, 100% reporting. That's in Pennsylvania. Somebody caught that and popped up on their screen. I think I got it in my video library of when they did a big flip. They flipped Trump's votes with Biden's votes on CNN. Remember that, folks? I might have to pull that out. But you know what? I think the writing's on the wall. I think the writing's on the wall. Yeah, Rowdy Roddy Piper. Trump's taking out the trash, a Google account says. Bearded lady, that's right. That's what it's going to be. And he's going to laugh. Trump's going to laugh. Yeah, Sparky, you're right. It's a relief that we've got somebody so uniquely qualified to do this, because the whole point of it all is to preserve civility and to protect the psychological well-being of as many people as possible. You know, who can go through what that man's been through and still have a sense of humor? What did I tell you about Pee Wee Herman? I said somebody looked like Pee Wee Herman. I'm proof to you I wasn't fibbing. Okay, this is the mayor who tried to shut down, I think it was Allentown, Trump's rally last night. Was I exaggerating? Now, this guy, this worker, uses foul language, but I can't help it. I don't have somebody to edit and do all that stuff for me. I'm a one-man band.
Intersection. You said it 3 times. And then all of a sudden, you let the traffic come through, and I'm trying to put out bike ride while dodging cars at the same time. Don't. You think I'm going to fucking take it off now?
I don't expect you to put yourself in danger.
Oh yeah, well then we got cars coming in from all 4 intersections while I'm in the middle of it. Oh really? Yes. You put out a press statement yesterday. The city did, saying that this entire block was closed on Apple Maps. You know what it shows? It shows this entire intersection closed. Look it up.
He's trying to pull all the permits right before the rally. I mean, within a half an hour of the rally. Listen to what the guy's talking about, all the service trucks and people that are there.
You think I'm going to remove the barricades now? Yeah, you're out of your fucking mind. Don't ever pull that shit on me again. The entire police force was confused. Yeah, go ahead and call your chief, please. You're going to open it up while the trucks are right there, too. Really? You got our food trucks right there. This is nuts. How is this in the way of voting? So if someone lives on that block right there, they can't walk around to the side. Why don't you walk it with me? Let's walk. Oh, really? Am I being a problem? I'm not the one who lied to you the entire time. You tried to pull some fake shit on the permits. Oh, really? You're laughing? You told us Saturday was fine. And then you say we can't have our porta potties there? Really? Okay, go ahead and fucking call them. You're saying you're trying to pull that permit shit on us? You told us we could do that. Oh, really? You got to pull a permit now? Oh, okay, yeah, right. Come on now. Oh, really? Election is 8 days away. You said we could close up this entire intersection. And then the day of, you show up in a fresh suit with all your cameras, trying to show like you're big and strong that you can shut this down. Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah? Oh, okay, why don't we walk it? Why don't we walk it right now? Let's go and walk it. What are they, Arnold Schwarzenegger? They don't have to do anything crazy.
He's trying to call the police chief while this kid's yelling at him to shut down the rally. Now, if that's not election interference, I don't know what is. It's attempted election interference. So I'd let it all play out because, I mean, the kid went to all the trouble to argue with Pee Wee. Dun, 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 dun. What's that song it was? Dun, 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 dun. Tequila. But anyway, that little creep, speaking of creeps, look at here. I hate to offend people, but this is reality. This is a kids at a Kamala rally.
What are your pronouns?
She and they. I am 6 years old and I do drag.
Asa is a baby drag queen.
This is where all of my dresses go.
He performs at drag shows as
He started doing this 4, 5, now 6 years old. He is by far the youngest performer we've seen.
There's even adult performers that sometimes we can outperform. He fell in love with it. There's no turning back. Now we almost have one performance a month that Lulu gets to do.
You want to practice? I really like drag and they don't want to stop.
It's just about living in the moment and what's exciting for right now. And I think wherever that takes us is where we go.
It's like Trump said, this country's got a spiritual problem. Anybody that would do that to their kids has a spiritual problem. It's depressing to play that, but what are we going to do about it? What are we going to do? Start out with not making it a fad anymore. What does Trump call it? Transgender insanity. Okay, that's what we're going to refer to it as. Whether or not they want to take us down or not. Well, here we go. Here's Kamala. She was talking about Donald Trump falling apart and not having energy and being too old. I think this is a clip of Kamala in Marine One. No, that's my Halloween video. I mean, this is it right here. Kamala in Marine One. How did I get that mixed up? She's talking about Trump falling apart and not having any energy. Here's Kamala after she does, how long was her rally? It was not between 30 minutes and an hour. I don't think it came close to an hour. Yeah, she's all wore out. Kamala's all wore out. Where is that? I had that one Here we go. If you want to see the video, let's see if it showed up in my screenshot. Who this guy is. Norm de Plume on TikTok, 1044 Bravo Company. He put up a video, and you can watch. These TikTok videos never transfer smooth. But anyway, he had a guy showing the buses outside of this rally in her backyard, her stomping ground, okay? Where they bus people in. They park the buses like 2 blocks away. Here it says, GPS, 31,834 mobile devices at the Ellipse in Washington for Kamala rally. 91% have been to 3 or more Harris rallies. Interesting. Just over 11,000 were for Atlanta, Georgia, followed by 6,500 for California. There it is. Get a screenshot of it. Tony Saruga on Twitter, formerly known as X. My little stand is trying to fall down while I'm trying to talk here. Trying to keep it standing while I'm doing this stuff. What was some of this stuff they had? Here we go. MAGA Warrior put this out. MAGA War Room. That's since Bannon came back. You know, the key words that Bannon was using was criminally negligent. Criminally negligent. And Trump used the terms today, gross incompetence, okay? Those words have legal weight. But anyway, MAGA War Room, new policy alert. President Trump will seize assets of criminal gangs and drug cartels to create a compensation fund for victims of migrant crime. There we go, new policy alert from President Donald J. Trump. So if you hadn't got a screenshot of that, there you go. There it is. So maybe that's why another reason Guzman, or better known as El Chapo, gave the go-ahead for his son to rat out the next guy in the lead with the cartels and hand deliver him to U.S. authorities. Whoops, I got the wrong one, took the wrong one down. There we go. I want to leave this one up. How ridiculous they look. Trump really brought it up today. He brought it up today. What they call us, what they call him. And it's for the history books, okay, is why I'm leaving it up. It's for the history books. Here, Trump War Room again. CBS. Now, I think they added the fake part in this, but it says, you compared Trump supporters to NAZIs. Biden called them, quote, garbage. Hillary called them, quote, deplorables. Doesn't that undercut your fake unity message? Tim Walsh says, no, certainly not. Yeah, well, they're pulling all their ads. I talked about it last night. It's true. Pulling their ads out of North Carolina. $2 million worth of ads they had reserved. They had reserved prior to the election. And, hey, we're, 6 days away? So I'm sure they're paying a penalty for that. But it's, hey, they're throwing their money away. Because, like I said, they're going around knocking on doors and people are saying, get lost. Speaking of next in line, the what's his name? The drug lords. Here's the guy that's next in line. Let's take bets. Oh, I guess we're not allowed to take bets. I don't know. This guy, his name's easy to remember because it starts with a QASSEM. Easy to remember. I just remember the letter it starts with. But he's the next one in charge of Hezbollah. What do you give him, a week? Maybe he's already, I don't know. But anyway, the Sharia Council, actually that's misspelled, or I've seen it as SHARI, Sharia, the main governing body of the Lebanon Shiite movement on Tuesday named Neon Quam as its leader. No, maybe Shura Council. Maybe Shura. They may be correct. I may be blowing smoke. I don't know. But here we go. Right. SCOTUS. I should have that. Supreme Court. Non-citizens can be purged from the Virginia voter rolls. That was quick. That was quick. I mean, an idiot could come up with. The idiots are the ones who bang the gavel down saying you got to leave them on. Those are the kind of judges we need to get rid of. We need to purge. Wait a minute. I got an article on a state Supreme Court justice. Where is it? Where'd that go? Well, I might not have it in my studio. But anyway, she was involved in listening to a case about mortgages, and she's being recommended for disciplinary action. So that goes to show you that they're not immune. Is this it? So you don't think I'm talking out of my backside. Maine. Liberal Maine. The Committee on Judicial Conduct is recommending disciplinary action against Catherine Connors, an Associate Justice of the Maine Supreme Judicial Court. The committee, which supervises the judiciary in Maine, said Connors violated the Code of Judicial Conduct by not recusing herself from 2 foreclosure cases. Justice Connors' failure to be sensitive to the appearance of impropriety and recuse herself in the face of it not only violates the Judicial Code of Conduct, undermines public confidence in the judiciary. I'm not getting into the details. I'm just pointing out that they can exercise discipline, but they don't do it enough. Oh, here's an aside as far as exercising discipline. Paul Pelosi attacker sentenced to life without parole on state conviction. No comment on the particulars of that case, but you look how many people do terrible things and don't get that. But he's never getting out. He's mentally unbalanced. Mentally unbalanced. Here we go. Nick Sortor does that. See the big protests of everybody protesting about the comedian making a joke about Puerto Rico garbage? LMAO. Democrats managed to recruit literally only two Puerto Ricans to come out to protest against Trump today. Manufactured outrage is just another example of Kamala Harris's campaign on being built on fraud. Will the mainstream media show this? There they are. They're really upset. They want to make noise. Whoa. Oh, we already saw that. Wait, what am I hitting too many buttons here? There we go. This is a senior White House official. In case you want to know this picture. So when they say one of Trump's senior White House officials, a hanger-on, somebody that's been in the opposing party administration, they all of a sudden become senior officials in Trump's administration. But anyway, the party that says men can get pregnant wants to control, quote, disinformation on the internet. Em, are you deplorable garbage? My word. Yeah, high time to create a narrative. They massage a narrative. Yeah, you could hear the sirens. You know, those of you who have been for a long time, remember when I said, hey, isn't it funny that every time Trump goes out to speak with Hannity on the White House grounds, somebody is blaring a siren. Remember that, folks? I said, D.C., it's not that big of a town. And Muriel Bowser, or whatever her name is, picking up somebody to blast a siren whenever Trump was giving an interview. Well, I think this business with Kamala, the siren business, is just a little payback. Here, I'm going to play some clips of her. Here we got, here, you want some Kamala clips? Here, I don't even know they're all mixed up. I don't even know what they're out. But we'll probably hear a siren in the background. Like I said, payback.
Look, we know who Donald Trump is. He is the person who stood at this very spot nearly 4 years ago and sent an armed mob to the United States Capitol to overturn the will of the people in a free and fair election.
Now you hear that siren. It isn't moving. Like you can tell it's going down farther away or getting nearer to the location. It's just sitting there letting that siren wail and let her have it. Did she take her tie off? What kind of tie does she have on? No tie? Wait a minute. What's this one about? This clip's only 17 seconds long. Now she's got a tie. No, she's got her hands up in front of her, under her chin. She's praying. I thought it was a tie. Is there a tie in my studio? But a 17-second clip, what's that mean?
Donald Trump intends to use the United States military against American citizens who simply disagree with him. People he calls, quote, the enemy from within.
Ha ha ha! That's why it's 17 seconds long, talking about the military getting the enemy from within. That was on Truth Social. Here, one more clip of her. No, I got another one after this. What's going on here? What was this hubbub about? She's been to so many different things. Oh, this is back. What do they call it? A backstage look at Donald Trump watching Kamala on TV. And if you watch it, you'll see Trump is talking to a young lady. I believe she's the one that enters his truths for him. She's the one that types them out. But anyway, it's interesting as a behind-the-scenes look at Donald Trump watching Kamala Harris.
Oh my God. Is she crazy?
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you so very much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Oh, too many thank yous. It's about 20. That must be 35.
Traveling from India to California with an unshakable dream to be the scientist.
How many people are watching?
Can we tell how many, Dan? How many people are watching?
She's talking about how great San Francisco was before she destroyed it. A lot of talk about childhood. We've got to get to the border, inflation, and crime.
He's not proposing a single policy.
So anyway, too many thank yous, but she's typing away. I believe she's putting stuff in for Mr. T. Here's something else Trump put up. A copy of this tweet somebody put up, the Border Patrol Union. This Department of Homeland Security billboard supported by Border Czar Harris will only encourage and incentivize illegal immigration and the abuse of the asylum system to continue. This leads to record numbers of illegal aliens pouring across the border. into our communities with little or no vetting. And there's the billboard. Your brother in immigration custody has rights. Oh, anchor family members. Oh, I see. Sue the country you're invading, right? But what did Trump say? He said he felt America has been over the years through this psychological warfare, illegal psychological warfare campaigns, has been demoralized. Well, it's time to put you on the other foot. Watch his, not this guy, but his cohort. Watch his face as he sees what the numbers mean.
Just 28% of Americans, voters, think the country is going in the right direction, is on the right track. And I want you to put that into a historical perspective for you. Okay, what's the average percentage of the public that thinks that the country is on the right track when the incumbent party loses? It's 25%. That 25% looks an awful bit like that 28% up there. It doesn't look anything like this 42% doesn't look anything like this 28%. So the bottom line is, very few Americans think the country is on the right track at this particular point. It tracks much more with when the incumbent party loses than with it wins. In fact, I went back through history. There isn't a single time in which 28% of the American public thinks the country is going on the right track in which the incumbent party actually won. They always lose when just 28% believes that the country is on the right track.
It is a hard, you are swimming upstream if you're trying to win in this environment. Also, President Biden, on the micro level, a lot of the coverage today is over something President Biden said. On the macro level, what kind of a weight is he on the Harris campaign?
Yeah, so, Joe Biden isn't on the ballot, but he's certainly in the minds of Americans, right? So I went back and I looked, okay, was the successor of the same party when the president's net approval rating was negative at this point, which Joe Biden's most definitely is. He's 15 points underwater. Now, we don't know if Kamala Harris is going to succeed Joe Biden, but we know back in 2008, George W. Bush, his approval rating was down in the 20s. Did a Republican succeed George W. Bush? No. How about in 1968? Lyndon Baines Johnson, his net approval rating was negative. Did a Democrat succeed Lyndon Baines Johnson? No. How about in 52? Harry S. Truman, his approval rating was in the 20s, if not the upper teens. Did a Democrat succeed Harry S. Truman in 52? My memory, no. No is Kate Baldwin's.
Diana.
No. Diana.
Separate story.
Well
Close. Wrong time of the year.
Well played.
Dwight Eisenhower, a Republican, succeeded Harry S. Truman. So the bottom line is, for Kamala Harris to win, she'd have to break history, be a Democrat to succeed Joe Biden when Biden's approval rating is way underwater at this point.
Again, it could happen. It just doesn't in his, in recent history for sure. Okay, registration numbers, Harry.
Yeah, Republicans have been registering voters in big, huge numbers. They have been gaining in party registration versus the Democrats in the swing states with party registration. We're talking Arizona. I think it's a 5-point. They've expanded their lead from 5 points from where it was back in 2020. How about Nevada? Big Republican registrations there. They like the early vote. How about North Carolina? Big Republican registration gains. How about Pennsylvania? We spoke about it before a few months ago. Big Republican Party registration gains versus from where they were 4 years ago. So Republicans are putting more Republicans in the electorate. The Democratic number versus the Republican number has shrunk. And so the bottom line is, if Republicans win come next week, Donald Trump comes next week, the signs all along will have been obvious. We would look at the right direction being very low, Joe Biden's approval rating being very low, and Republicans really registering numbers. You can't say you weren't warned.
Again, this is the data which supports the idea of a Trump victory. Tomorrow, viewers, you will get the other.
Stay tuned. Yeah. Don't worry, we're staying tuned to your garbage. But I guess this guy, Harry Anton, he's doing the best he can with what he's got. I can't say too much bad about him. He's put out more truth, even though it's all muddled up and screwed up, than most CNN broadcasters in the past 20 years. But anyway, I think it was North Carolina. There are more independents registered than there are Democrats. First time I guess history. Nobody can remember independents outpacing Democrats for early voting. Republicans have outpaced Democrats in early voting. They are in third place in North Carolina. No wonder they're pulling their ads and running like hell. Where are they going? They're going to Virginia. Here, I want to put this up. There. I just want to make sure I get this on the screen. You know, in case my videos are shown in history class 100 years from now. I don't know. Here. Let's see. Let's get these creepos out of the way. Now this guy in the creepo. Listen to how they cry the blues. They try to interrupt him, and they are taking a page out of the Views handbook where they all start talking at the same time. They got one guy with a conservative opinion. Look, he's surrounded. Well, maybe they got two. But anyway, you got all these talking heads. But anyway, let this guy say his piece.
Yeah, let me just accept the most charitable framing of this, which you just gave. Why is he sitting in front of a laptop at the exact same moment Kamala Harris is out on his backyard trying to give the closing argument to her campaign? What in the world is he doing? Now, I don't accept your framing of it personally because I actually do believe he, Harris, the Democratic Party, and most of their campaign do believe that half the country is garbage. They've also said people who go to Trump rallies are Nazis. And so it's pretty apparent the disdain with which they hold half of the country in.
It's not true. Party already litigated it. But Kamala's speech tonight.
But as a tactical matter today,
No, but you don't just get
why
to say
in
that.
the world is Joe Biden giving remarks at the same time?
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Yeah, why in the world indeed? Now they didn't jump all over him because they already fired one guy, okay, for telling somebody hope their pager didn't go off, who was calling him Nazi. It's like Trump said, they got the nerve. They got more nerve than a bum tooth. But Obama calls it audacity, okay, when it's really gall. Jack Posobiec, when Bannon was sent to jail, Biden was still the candidate, and Trump hadn't even had one assassination attempt yet. Just putting it in perspective with Bannon. And he's reminding us, don't just report things that are going on at these polling places. When you are legally able, film it. See something, screen something. See something, screen something. And people are seeing stuff. They had the video of those cops shutting down the voting. And that got reversed in less than, 12 hours? A judge not only made them reopen, but said they get an extra 2 days because of your garbage. Extra 2 days. Here's another one for Meta. Put on Meta. Me, drinking from a soggy straw to save the planet. Taylor Swift. They can't see their duplicity, their ignorance. Maybe a meme can help them see it. Let's see. What is this? Oh. Well, for everybody interested in internet security, cyber communications, China is poised to lead the creation of quantum-proof telecoms security protocol. China is expected to play a leading role in creating quantum-proof communication protocol after scientists from the country presented a design blueprint at a major international conference on telecom standards. What are they talking about? The protocol aims to help the world fend off potential attacks from quantum computers that could break traditional communication encryption methods. A scalable quantum computer, once developed, could compute exponentially faster than a conventional computer. Oh my God. So much so that it could leave all conventional encryption obsolete. I don't think they're putting it up there to protect encryption, but to crack it. Because remember, I talked about you're going to hear the word quantum a lot. Quantum is going to, theory is going to be in our currency, in our serial numbers on whatever our legal tender is. Okay. It's going to be used on the ballots they use. Okay. In the watermarks to track ballots. So here, China's saying they're going to bust up the encryption codes. Oh, really? Interesting. Get a load of this. There is another corruption hysteria in Ukraine. Within the framework of the drone army project, 600 million hryvnias were successfully stolen. I don't know how much a hryvnia is worth, but the fraud was based on the deliberate overpricing of purchase prices. Oh, you mean skimming off the top? You mean taking foreign aid? Don't we know that's a kickback operation? Don't we know that's a slush fund anyway? But at least they're exposing it. Overall, the participants in the scheme caused serious damage to the armed forces of Ukraine. Did they really? Well, get this now. Goggle has been fined. Here's a new term for you all, folks. We went through billions. We started finding out what billions were in the 70s. We started finding out what trillions were in the 90s. Now we're finding out what a decillion is worth. Have you ever heard of a decillion? Google has been fined a staggering $20 decillion. And I'm not counting all those zeros, okay? By a Russian court. More than all the money in the world, according to reports. So what does that mean? What does that mean? Well, whoever's in control of Goggle don't want Russia to get control of Goggle because, well, here's a meme. I guess this is a meme they put out. The Ruskies, I don't know how good they are at memes. But whoever this person is, he looks like some kind of plastic head. What was that? What was that guy on MTV? Kind of had a plastic head. Max Headroom. He looks like Max Headroom. Jacob Caroli. And there it is, how to spell it in Oriental, if in case you need to know. I'm finding you 20 gajillion, bajillion, fifillion, morbillion, doobie-doobie-doo, and they forgot doo-wop, dollars for terminating my YouTube channels. And I guess that's a person in charge of Goggle, I guess, Max Headroom. I don't know. Anyway, but World of Statistics said Google fined. So what is going to come of that, if anything? Here you go. Buzz Aldrin. Looks like he's in pretty good shape. Astronaut Buzz Aldrin endorses Trump. There you go. Destination Mars. That's pretty cool. But you know he's gonna stick with Elon and Donald J. Trump. But who didn't? Who didn't back Trump? Is this damn Arnold Schwarzenegger. In case you care to read it, I'll leave it here. You can take a screenshot and expand it. This is his stupid letter saying that he doesn't, why he's not voting for Trump. I'm not reading all that crap. You know, just like your party you're supporting, a waste of time and a bunch of commie gobbledygook. But anyway, he says, I want to tune out. It's not a surprise that I hate politics more than ever, which if you are a normal person who isn't addicted to this crap, you probably understand. I want to tune out. Not me. This is getting interesting because I want to save my country. I want to save humanity. I want to save Western civilization and a Judeo-Christian way of life. Okay? I don't want to deal with no speaky tricky, okay? Tricky treat. But I can't because rejecting the results of an election that is as un-American as it gets, yeah, right. Well, not standing up to a blatantly stolen one is cowardice, all right? To someone like me who talks to people all over the world and still knows America is a shining city on a hill. Oh, give me a break. Ronald Reagan will slap you upside your head. Calling America is a trash can for the world is so unpatriotic. It makes me furious. And I will always be an American before I'm a Republican. That's why this week I'm voting for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. You know, go, as they say in New York, SH and that's it in your hat. That's what they tell you in New York you can go do. Do something in your hat. But anyway, what's this? Oh, look here. The image is too small to make it out, but there is a identification of a certain person and his earthly remains after two of them after the action. Body of two Colombian mercenaries found in Salidovo. They could have easily been transporting drugs on submarines to Florida. In other words, what are they doing here? They're young. They were healthy. They're mercenaries. They no longer exist. They might as well have been smuggling drugs to Florida. And also on the same thread, going around the world, all the way over on the other side of the world, Pennsylvania, Donald J. Trump. They put this up with no comment. No comment. Pennsylvania is cheating and getting caught at large-scale levels, rarely seen before. Report cheating to authorities. Law enforcement must act now. Not only did law enforcement act, but the judiciary acted. Here's a crack in the diplomatic armor of the Biden administration. U.S. Ambassador to Lebanon, Lisa Johnson, calling for an uprising? Well, look at that flag in the back. Is that the tree of heaven? Well, it's the Lebanon tree of life. But it's close enough to the tree of heaven, right? But what's she calling for an uprising? Against Hezbollah. Al-Akbar, citing sources. According to the Lebanese publication, this is a member of the Biden administration, an ambassador. Johnson insists that Israel will not achieve everything through war. The article says that the U.S. representative is already preparing the country for a post-Hezbollah era. What happened after this report and some other reports that came out about the strategy of the Israelis, which is going to be to continue forward? You had mass surrenders. You can watch on YouTube right now how a Hezbollah commander, what's the other bunch in Gaza? He surrendered. He didn't want to end up like the other one with a stump for an arm, throwing a stick at a drone being his last act. He surrendered like what they call other people that surrender cowards. The United States is conducting exercises in preparation for a potential war with China, from the New York Times. Because I'm going over this stuff because you got to remember, folks, it's not all about what Sorosio and Shapiro are going to do in Pennsylvania. They're going to do things. They've got options for chaos all around the world. Troops practice maneuvers based on observations of how Ukraine fights Russia. Now that the odds of war with China are growing, the big unwieldy army is trying to transform itself after 2 decades of fighting in the Afghanistan and Middle East. Unlike the Taliban or other insurgents, China will have satellites that can see troop formations from the sky. The army, in effect, must learn to fly under the radar. Gary, in Alaska. Earlier this month, nearly 1,000 soldiers were practicing airdrops. Not all the plane's doors opened. One 19-year-old's parachute failed to open. The Marines, along with Japanese, Australian, Indonesia, and other partners, rappelled down jungle ropes and then climbed wet trails with loaded gear. Make sure I get rid of the right one here. Oh, that was the wrong one. There we go. Near Pearl Harbor, near Hawaii, Army transport crews practice various methods of unloading military equipment and troops. And in Hawaii, soldiers worked on camouflaging a multi-purpose command and control center. The Pentagon calls it a great power war, and it would be exponentially more dangerous. It would put the world's 2 most powerful militaries, both nuclear superpowers, in direct conflict, possibly drawing in other nuclear adversaries, including North Korea and Russia. And there's more confirmations about North Korean troops in Russia, 3,000 of them. American troops would be unalived in numbers that would likely surpass those of America's deadliest conflicts. The New York Times writes. So is the New York Times fear-mongering, or are they putting out information that the American public needs to be aware of? He notes that such a war would be waged on land, sea, and air, and in space. And the U.S. Army is already preparing for this. Now, a major fire broken out in the nuclear submarine yard in Great Britain, Cumbria. Sky News reports 2 people were injured. The police assured that there were no nuclear risks due to the fire. BAE Systems produces a wide range of military equipment, including nuclear submarines, fighter aircraft, tanks, ships, weapons, and ammunition. Specifically, this base, now this is for some of our UK listeners probably know more about this, in Barrow-in-Furness, where the Astute and Dreadnought-class nuclear submarines are built for the Royal Navy. Can you say sabotage or something going on there? Whoops, that's a quantum computer thing. Let me see what's going on in the chats. Devin's been up in Fairbanks for 32 years of your life. I'll be darned. Gary's in Wasilla. Devin, Gary. Yeah. Oh, I know the feeling, man. They're walking away from friends and people you know because they're so damn stupid and they won't open their eyes and recognize the dangers. But I tell you what, Trump put out some hints today. If you can, listen to the beginning part of today's rally. The last one he did it, I guess it was around 8 o'clock he started in Wisconsin. He said, we're not going to make it in 1 or 2 days. And then he started talking about something else. It sounded to me like he was saying, we're not going to have a drug-out election. He said, we can't afford it. This country can't take it. So that tells me I am prepared for something dramatic to happen if they tried to delay this election. Hi, David. Hi, Stanton. He said, we've got one chance. There are no second chances. He said this tonight. Before I went live, his last rally. That's when he said Kamala's plan was a simpleton's plan. That she's a fool. That there, nobody with any brains in her head could expect her to be able to handle the problems that are coming. She's dangerous. She's going to cause the loss of life. That what has been happening is gross incompetence, directly responsible, decisions being made that are directly responsible for the loss of life. And there's going to be thousands more going to lose their lives. No second chances. This is our chance. And he said, we're not going to screw it up. We're not going to miss the chance. And that's when he said that he's going to be everybody's protector. He's the president of the United States. He's supposed to be the protector. And he said he's going to protect Americans from illegal invasions, from these animals that are coming in. And he's also said, and foreign powers. So I have counseled against getting yourself on the edge of your chair. I've been saying it for years because people were driving themselves nuts. And I wanted people to understand that this is a drawn out educational process, a spiritual process where people have to look inside their hearts and see what's going on. They need to learn about this country's history. That's why I planned the old Halloweens you used to have, cultured children raised right versus what comes in. That is a tiny, small scale of the disruption to a civil society that can happen when your country gets abused. Okay? And I'll play them again. I'll keep them in my studio and play them in future broadcasts. I might use it as an opening. I might tie them together before the invasion and after the invasion. He also brought up about paper being 8% the cost of using these fancy contraptions, which is another word I got to be careful of. But I'll talk about the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, Rise of the Machines, remember? So why are we using them? They take longer and they cost 10 times more. It's these types of things we have to repeat and tell people to be part of what C-Band referred to with Elon Musk, a great awakening. Cut the daggone lights on. And yeah, we get frustrated when people can't see what the hell is happening. Especially that old man holding that cardboard sign up. If that doesn't get you right here. I mean, I'm thumping my chest. Old fella standing there and his Social Security check that he worked for all his life has been devalued to the point where he's got to give half of it back to the government to live in his own damn house. And the smooth-brained idiots will say, well, that's the way it's supposed to be. Like hell. Like my old friend said, now looking back at it, I agree with him. I remember when a dollar bill was like a blanket. It was worth something. Now it's not. What's $100 bill anymore? Couple of fill-ups on your gas on your car or your truck? $100 bill used to be something. They're the silent thieves. The silent thieves. And I'll tell you when it started. When it was, no, not when it started, when it was unveiled. When it was unveiled, and nobody can argue with me on this,
George H.W. Bush was the first one to say internationally in a speech, a new world order. And 1,000 points of light, that's the birthplace of these NGOs, okay? Nonprofit organizations that are tax exempt. And they really push political agendas, posing as do-gooders. And they go around and undermine people that have to get up and go to work every day, don't have time to connive and scheme. That's who they prey on. And they don't have the burden. They don't have the burden of a tax obligation. They just pay themselves big salaries. Liberals watching you have a happy life. Connive and scheme, okay? You're either busy trying to have a happy life or you're trying to be productive in work. And what do? Connive and scheme. And the free ride crowd is going to do whatever they can to keep their free ride. And politicians know that if they promise a free ride, they'll have those voters forever. People with those attitudes. Richard Nixon Foundation. It's a good one to subscribe to just to check what they put up every now and again. Richard Nixon Foundation. Any challenge, any change is resisted because bureaucrats have a vested interest in chaos, in the chaos in which they exist. It's nothing new under the sun. Except for these vote totals that Jack Posobiec put up. PA, the last day of absentee ballot requests. Republicans, 25,000. Democrats, 18,000. I'd like to know the independent amount because independents are going to go for Trump by between 5 and 10% more. Breaking Pennsylvania returns. These are not normal. It's usually the other way around. 33,000 Republicans, 31,000 Democrats. Now you know why they were closing down the early voting early. These two characters right here. Tweedledee and Tweedledumbass. Look at this. Church of Satan, Citizen Free Press. Will Ferrell and Billy Eichner run around New York City shilling for Kamala. Very lame attempt. I didn't record it. I'm not going to waste my time. But don't forget, Will Ferrell was sitting at that Maria Abramovich dinner with a cake that looked like a human being. Necky. A necky human being. You could cut off pieces of a human being and eat it like cake. Spirit cooking. That's what it was. A spirit cooking dinner. Let's see how well this plays. Y'all sticking with me? I want to play this for you. I had it the other night.
Dear Kamala Harris, let's get one thing crystal clear. The vast majority of American men have no issue with electing a female president. Our issue lies solely with you. You were second in charge of California for 13 years.
As California's Attorney General, Harris promoted enforcement of a law that allowed prosecutors to seek jail time for parents of truant kids.
As a prosecutor and law enforcement, I have a huge stick. So I decided I was going to start prosecuting parents for truancy.
I thought that was crazy. I was like, how can you lock parents up?
If you don't go to school, Kamala's going to put you and me in jail. Yes, we achieved intended effect.
I opened the door and I see at least 7 or 8 cops like wanted to arrest me. As a matter of fact, they did.
And frankly, you know the prosecutors in my office who volunteered to do this? My homicide prosecutors, my gang prosecutors. And they went over there and I said, when you go over there, look really mean.
She had me arrested and prosecuted because my handicapped daughter was sick in the hospital and had missed some days of school.
I learned that with the swipe of my pen, I could charge someone with the lowest level offense. That person could be arrested, they could lose time from work, and their family maybe lose their job. They'd have to come out of their own pocket to help hire a lawyer. They'd lose standing in their community.
I lost my job and couldn't pay rent, and we got evicted.
A week later, I could dismiss the charges, but their life would forever be changed.
I became homeless. We had to move into a motel.
All because of the swipe of my pen.
I don't agree what Kamala Harris did to my mom, and I don't agree with what she's done to other parents as well.
You were second in charge of the United States for 4 years.
If anything, would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact.
Inflation is hitting the highest level in 39 years. A record high number of illegal crossings.
Crimes been surging across the nation.
Huge spikes in homicides.
Could we be heading toward World War III?
After 17 years of failed leadership, you are now asking us to trust you as first in charge of our country.
I am concerned and focused on big issues. Elementary and middle school truancy is actually a big issue. If we're trying to save the state money, because of truancy, California public schools lose $1.4 billion a year in funding. I want money.
My message to all Americans, do not trust Kamala Harris.
As men and protectors of women and children, you are simply a risk we are not willing to take.
And not authorized by
candidate or candidates committee.
Protectors, men as protectors, same theme that Trump was hitting on tonight. With the swipe of her pen, she could destroy people's lives. And she was saying that with a smile on her face. Did you notice that, folks? That little smile she had on her face? We're going to wipe that smile off. They're going to be sad come election day. I had a screenshot where CNN had the nerve, like Trump says, they have the nerve to do this and the nerve to do that. I don't know if it's in my... But they had a picture of Kamala Harris and they said, Kamala Harris declines to answer whether or not she'll pardon Trump. Like that's even a remote possibility. We're talking about the survival of Western civilization, the world as we know it, the survival of this nation. You think there's any scenario where she would have the power to do anything to Donald Trump besides conniving and using lunatics to try to take him out and hurt as many Republicans as possible? Here's her excuse for Joe. Apostrophe Joe. Let me see. It's very brief. Because he has no excuse. I think he's pulling a Guzman. I think he's protecting his son, just like that drug dealer Guzman.
Biden took his comment last night about garbage.
Listen, I think that, first of all, he clarified his comments, but let me be clear, I strongly disagree with any criticism of people based on who they vote.
What a damn hypocrite. Did you hear that? You can't criticize people who they vote for. They've called us every damn offensive name in the book. Every name in the book. Let me see what's going on in the chats. Ha ha, Mark said he's going to take a ranch with that word salad. Yeah. Nothing comes to her mind, Cheddar Predator. And no, they didn't plan for him. So anyway, I've got a good video to close out on. Let me see what else I have to put up. Remember what I talked about? Trudeau making that big stink about India, an international incident, throwing out top diplomats, accusing them of being involved in attempted red rum, myrrh, and then dur. Well, there are calls for a secret ballot on his leadership popped up out of the ground, a secret ballot. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff bubbling that we don't know about. And a lot of stuff we do know about, but we got to pay attention to it. Lincoln Project, stinking Lincoln Project. What did Trump call them? A bunch of perverts and maniacs. Lincoln Project runs digital ad aimed at Puerto Ricans in Pennsylvania. Good, spend your money, you losers. What's this one? Exclusive. Philly man indicted for threatening a poll worker is a Democrat. Poll worker supported Trump. They completely whitewashed the fact that this person was a Democrat, which is again available by public record, and that they threatened a Republican staffer. Just like Barney Fife said, Andy, we got to nip it, nip it, nip it. Call it out, turn it in, put it on blast. Here you go, Lincoln Project, you goofballs. It was a comedian who said a bad joke about Puerto Rico that no one in the audience liked. It was Kamala Harris who said, "You're at the wrong rally," when someone yelled, "Jesus is Lord," and everyone cheered. Let that sink in. You perverts at Lincoln Project, don't say anything to me because Donald Trump's the one that said it. You're a bunch of perverts. Why should I not believe Donald Trump? Been right about everything else. We're not just deplorable. We're revolting. Here, put this up. Put this up on Meta because it's true. Yeah, the money they spend on these things. You think all the older people losing their homes, like that guy holding up the sign? What's this one? Haven't put this one up yet. Wall Street Apes. This is Kamala Harris's America. Senator Don McConaughey. We've just passed the largest budget in Illinois state history. Illinois is a booger on the map. A blue booger that should be red. Pluck that blue booger off of there. But it's been crooked ever since the Daley days. It includes almost $1 billion in tax increases and nearly $1 billion on the migrants crisis. So we actually raised your taxes just to spend on migrants. No speaky, trick or treaty. Democrats will raise taxes on the American people to pay for their illegal migrants. You cannot trust them, and here's the proof. And they have a video, Illinois state history, over $53 billion. Because they want to change the culture. They want to change the country. Another thing put up by Posobiec. An Act Blue donor red-rummed firefighter Corey Compatore for supporting Trump earlier this year, and SHOT President Trump as well. Now the Democrat president is calling Trump supporters garbage. We know where this leads. Knowing incitement to knowingly cause incitement? Is that where we're looking at? Oh, well, guess what? J.D. Vance is scheduled to sit down for an interview with Joe Rogan. You know, Joe Rogan's got a foul mouth and he's arrogant, and I don't think he deserves to. He couldn't shine Trump's shoes. But hey, you got to go where the eyeballs and ears are. So Trump went. It was a good interview. Now J.D. Vance. Kamala Harris backed out. She gave a bunch of idiotic demands that Rogan very politely rejected. But I can tell you what, Rogan, if Kamala goes on there, and she might crack and go on there because things are looking so damn bad, Rogan's going to draw her in. And when she comes in and steps out of line, Rogan is going to, I think, going to put a world-class thumping on her as far as interviews go. It's a bunch of garbage that very few people could sit there and stomach. A nation in this was reposted by Devin Nunes. By this person's name, Lee Smith. A nation in distress. How the on domestic extremism has destroyed American lives. Excerpted from Disappearing the President. How the war on domestic extremism threatens liberty. It's a J6 defense. Many detained without violence charges. Prolonged harassment as FBI prioritizes over justice on a crackdown of conservative dissenters. Exclusive video. Harris's supporters chant revolution during her lip speech in D.C. This is from Laura Loomer. She's the only one I've seen put this little. Kamala Harris's supporters are just as radical as her policy. On Tuesday, Kamala Harris's supporters chanted revolution, long live, and waved Palestine flags as Kamala spoke at the. That should be on the national news. National news. And here's the Washington Post. 250,000 subscribers. 250 subscribers because they would not endorse Kamala Harris. Good. And now put some staff in there that can write stories for once in a while. Did Biden call Trump supporters garbage? It's down to an apostrophe. That's why I call him Apostrophe Joe. Republicans have strained for a new Hillary Clinton deplorables moment, but Biden's is entirely plausible. Well, forget about it. Like I said, thanks to Elon Musk getting, if he hadn't done that, word would have never got out. But his word played for hundreds of millions of people to listen to. I said hundreds of millions of people all around the world heard him say garbage and tie it in to people that supported Trump. So the more they put out this stuff that makes them look like lying, good, more. Keep putting it out. Oh, we had some more people jump into the fray here. More people jump in right when I was wrapping it up. What is this one? Oh. Joe, trip down memory lane. This is something I saved December 16th of last state election board. Whatever happened with this, folks? No given. Breaking. Georgia governor's legal staff has notified Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger that 17,852 invalid 2020 VOTSs were counted in Fulton County, Georgia alone. I remember last year I could not say that county. I could say the word VOTES. Whatever happened with those? I tabled. but it is supposedly still working its way through the court system and legal system. Something else that's on the burner. So, it's a little fuzzy, but the words are the big thing in this. The words are the big thing. And what that says is a witch hunt of all time is what it says on the top. Off of there, but I want to leave you with this, folks, to think about. This is a marathon. I was going to sing Walk On With Hope in Your Heart, like Jerry doing his telethons. I'm having a Mountain Man marathon all the way to the election, if I can do it. But anyway, like I say, I'll stick with you. So anyway, I hope you all enjoy this pretty good video. And I appreciate you spending your prayer. And I will be seeing you soon. This is Mountain Man, over and
It is Barack Obama who corrupts the Justice Department. It is Hillary Clinton who routinely breaks the law and gets away with it. And now we have Joe Biden who's learned. He's learned from Obama that doesn't matter what you do, if you're a liberal Democrat, you will not be prosecuted. He learned from Hillary that a person in high public office can get millions and millions of dollars. And they learn from watching Donald Trump that a true outsider willing to take on the entire system could destroy their entire machine. So what you're seeing across the country is a desperate last-ditch effort by a corrupt machine to destroy their most dangerous opponent.
What you're witnessing is a continuation of the single greatest witch hunt of all time. These are ridiculous indictments, and all they're doing is hoping for massive election interference. Our enemies want to stop me because I am the only one who's going to be able to stop them. They want to silence me because I will never let them silence you. They want to take away my freedom because I will. We have one chance